As Dr. William Dement, father of sleep medicine, once said, open quote, "You are not healthy unless your sleep is healthy," end quote. As someone who suffers from sleep apnea, I hope this afternoon to reveal to you just how dangerous and prevalent the health condition of OSA, which is obstructive sleep apnea, is. By understanding the risk associated with OSA, I hope that to give you a huge impact later in your life for those of you who might know someone who snores, or maybe you've been told you snore. I'll first explain what OSA is, then I'll go into how it's diagnosed. Finally, I'll share with you the treatments for OSA. OSA affects the way you breathe at night when you're sleeping. I'm going to walk over here and demonstrate. It affects the way you sleep at night when you have an episode or an apnea. What happens is the back of the throat, the soft tissue there, collapses, and you don't breathe. And this might last for 10 to 15 seconds, and people with sleep apnea, severe sleep apnea, it could go 100 times in the evening. What makes it even difficult for people is they are not aware. They are not fully woken up when they have an apnea episode, and so they never get into that deep REM sleep. So that's the seriousness of it. The Division of Sleep Medicine at the Harvard Medical School website states, to describe what happens, imagine drinking a milkshake through a paper straw. And as you're drinking and that paper straw becomes weak, it collapses. That's what the back of the throat does when you're sleeping on your back and you have the sleep apnea. And so, now that I've explained what it is, and hopefully you understand a little bit about the area that closes off, I'll now explain to you how it's diagnosed. And from an article, July 10th, 2012, the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, doctors diagnose OSA by family medical history. If your family has OSA, you're more likely. Also, physical exam. They can look at the back of your throat and see if that's weak. Also, if you have a big tongue, you can suffer from sleep apnea. Then there's the polysonogram, which is the night you go to a sleep center, they put the electrodes all over your head, and then they actually measure how many times you wake up, and how long it takes you to go back to sleep. Although you're not really completely awake, you are losing valuable sleep. And some people go to the doctor for a diagnosis when they've developed some of the symptoms, which obviously the first one is snoring. Then there's also, you have a dry throat, dry mouth, morning headaches, memory loss, depression, fatigue, insomnia, nocturia, which is urinating often throughout the night, weight gain, and impotence. Now that I've explained how it's diagnosed, I'll go into some of the consequences, the medical, the social consequences of OSA. According to the Division of healthysleep.med.harvard.edu, open quote, people with OSA are 10 times likely to have a car accident due to sleepiness. Another consequence is premature death, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, stroke. Most recently, dementia has been added to that list. In an article dated 12/15/24, Nicholas Barkelar of the New York Times had an article, and it states, open quote, new study found poor sleep linked to brain changes associated with dementia. Another social consequence is that your bed partner sleeps in another room because it's bothersome. And quoting from Anthony Burgess, laugh and the world laughs with you. Snore and you sleep alone. Now I'll transition. Now I will go off from the consequences to some of the treatment for OSA. There's a CPAP, which is continuous positive airway pressure. There's oral appliances that you can wear. It forces the bottom jaw to move forward, leaving this area here open so that it does not close off. There's also surgeries. People have had their uvula removed, they've had the loose tissue in the back of their throat removed. And there's the most recent surgery that they're now doing that's been approved, an article by Bruce Hensel in NBC Los Angeles on March 6, 2015. He states the most recent breakthrough device is called Inspire. This includes with all my info on the symptoms, the diagnosis, the consequences of OSA, and the treatments. NFL defensive lineman Reggie White died at the age of 43 in his sleep. In an article dated November 7, 2011, his widow, Sarah White, stated, open quotes, "I noticed he snored, but that was something I accepted. I would just elbow him. So many wives know about the elbow." Leaving OSA undiagnosed or untreated can have devastating and even fatal results. Thank you.